Thank you for joining us for another episode of Edmonton Real Estate Today. Joining us via Zoom is Jennifer Lucas, Chair of the Real Estate Association of Edmonton, and Sheryl Stevens of Remax Real Estate. The Real Estate Association of Edmonton states that the average price for a single family home is $413,000, condos at $216,000, and duplexes is $323,000. So how has the coronavirus affected supply and demand in properties?
I think right now we're still at the very early stages. I think demand is there, but people aren't acting on it quite as frequently. It's those that absolutely have to move right now that realtors are working with, because I think for the most part, people understand that social distancing is the only way we're going to get out of this. Right. And so, while there are people working, it's those that are coming from the, I sold my house before we got into this lockdown. Like, I absolutely have to buy. I worked with a client yesterday that, she's in a divorce situation. She's got to buy a house. And so it's business. It's not business as usual. We're pivoting and being very careful, but I think in the next month, we're going to see that supply starts to come down.
And I've been noticing that already. I know I was looking at Sherwood Park, for example, for clients of mine, for like March 11th to 18th, we had 23 single family houses sell. But this last 7 days, we actually only had 11. So I'm already starting to see that again, supply will be down, demand is down, and I agree with you fully. It all comes down to how much do they have to buy or move, right?
That's right. And we always have to think about consumer confidence. That's one of the things that we look at when we make our predictions, at the forecast in January. We think, what are those risks moving forward? Obviously, we did not predict a $5 barrel of oil. We didn't predict a global pandemic. I'm a firm believer that Alberta is predominantly, more than any other province, entrepreneurial. And so we may take a little bit longer than the rest of the country to recover from this, because there will be small businesses that don't come out on the other end despite some of the initiatives from the federal and provincial governments. So, that consumer confidence is also going to affect how we do business and how busy we are at the end of this.
Now, in terms of sales, the Edmonton, the board reported 580 homes sold, let's say back in January. There was 473 homes in February and 811 sold in March. So what guidance would you offer to home buyers and home sellers wanting to still move or purchase a home out there?
I would actually say, again, if they need to sell, those are the people that I'm really recommending. Let's just put it on the market, because again, they're going to have less competition. And there are buyers still out there that, like your client, Jen, that has to buy. So if you're a seller and you need to sell, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd get out there now and get it on the market. I know I put one on last week and got an offer right away. So there's people that are really serious in the marketplace. And we're just asking that sellers turn on your lights and leave all your cupboard doors open. So cupboard doors and closet doors and all that. So buyers can feel safe walking through the home, getting a sense of the layout without actually having to touch anything. So my point is that if you need to sell, just get it on the market, the sooner the better, and then we can kind of go from there.
I would agree with that. There are protocols in place that are going to try to, keep people safe. And for the most part, I haven't seen anybody not trying to do their best for their clients, whether it's a buyer or a seller. And, we have the area checklist, have you been sick, have you traveled out, just, keeping them in your file. It's just a new way of doing business.
Yeah. So with that saying, are things taking any longer? Because in terms of days on market, I have single family homes at 55 days to sell, condos at 67, and duplexes at 70 days to sell. What are your thoughts about the length of time properties are now taking to sell?
I think it's just going to increase personally. I think that the key will be that, again, you're going to have to price a little more aggressively to make people actually want to get into the marketplace, because there's people sitting on the fence going, kind of want to buy, don't have to quite buy yet. But if something is priced really aggressively and looks really desirable, it might get that person off the fence just to get things moving. So, but I think in general, because there is less people in the marketplace looking than there normally was, it only makes sense that days on the market are going to increase.
Yep, I agree. I think setting those expectations for sellers ahead of time, if they're going to list right now, during a pandemic, it is critical that the price is right. And setting that expectation that while there may be people sitting at home and more people are viewing houses online, the ones that are actually going out into the marketplace, that might take a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. And I think definitely the way it's going, sorry, LeRoy,
Go ahead.
There's more and more video tours that we're going to try to make sure we're using to give people that comfort feel to narrow down what they want to see, so they won't have to see as many in real life, because maybe they'll do more video tours, right?
Correct. Yeah, I think our industry has done an exceptional job at pivoting how they do their business in a really short order. So everybody should be applauded for the work that they've done, for sure.
So I would say, where do you guys see real estate market headed in the short term here then, in terms of just activity or supply, or because the spring market is what we all look forward to? Where do you guys see that headed?
I wish I had an answer. I don't think it's going to be great. I think there will be some difficult decisions for people moving forward, but I think if we can get through it, we're going to be stronger as an industry, for sure.
I know previously in the last few months, looking at homes, there's quite a few vacant homes on the market. And I think those are going to be the ones that more and more people are comfortable viewing. And the key will be is that, again, there's those people that were worried about our jobs and things like that they're not going to be wanting to hold those 2 mortgages anymore. So I do think there's going to be some deals out there to be had, and some of those investors might be snatching them up, because again, it's the opportunity, I hate to say it, but people will be selling now to get rid of them. So it's less weight on their shoulders. Therefore, there'll be benefit to be had by somebody else.
I want to thank you both for your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll talk again.